welcome to another episode of Carpool. Let me tell you, this is quite a complicated one for me. I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm quite nervous because this is Sin City, and believe me, it's just the craziest place. If you haven't been, I'm sure a lot of you have been and you know, but this is the first time I've been. It's pretty overwhelming, but I'm very excited this morning because this is the Dew Tour Championships, and it's the championships of BMX riders and skateboarders, and I think dirt bike riders of some other type, you know, me, sport, don't know a lot about it. But I've just been so lucky because I've got an amazing guy who's the current reigning champion of BMX riders. Please welcome into the car, Mr. Jamie Bestwick. Right. Oh God.
Yeah, a little bit feisty at the Hard Rock, so...
Gosh, they don't hang about, do they?
Yeah,
that was a sight. I think we should just inform the viewing public that what we saw was that young lady getting out of that car, out of that taxi.
Yeah, you know, obviously...
You don't really see that in Marylebone High Street, do you, generally?
Well, not really. Well, actually, you know, these days you probably do, but it just depends what time your clock on hour is. But, yeah, she was a little bit worse for wear, looking rough, heavy night.
Yeah.
Both on and off the field.
That's good. I think the sporting analogy is a good way of doing it. God. So now you've been here before, because this is my first time in Vegas. I've never done it. I've never been here or seen anything. So I'm all excited and going, ooh.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas before. It's quite a nice place. It's not a place where you want to spend a lot of time in.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
It's kind of an in and out. You come in and you're just dazzled by this huge spectacle. It is. It's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, if people can just, if they could see what we're driving into now, it's just an almost, you know, metropolis of glass and huge buildings and gold, and it's the most. It's almost like rolling into Dubai. It's so lavish.
Yes.
But
it is because when I went to Dubai, people said, "Oh, it's like Vegas without booze and sex and
you know, everything else that comes in those little bags that you buy off strange men at 2 in the morning."
But now I want to find the Strip. I don't know what it is.
The Strip. I guess the Strip would be the
main drag.
Just the main drag. Yeah. You know, it's like it's like the Golden Mile at Blackpool minus the trams. And minus all the cheap little arcades where you can go and lose your backside in 20p slots, and you walk out with a Furby or something like that.
If you're really lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah. If you put 10 quid in one of those machines with the big,
with
claws,
the claw.
Dad, I want an Action Man. Oh my God! Quick, give us another tenner. Go and get it changed. We just, enjoyed Vegas. We just watched a little bit of BMX outside. Because
that's what I mean. I've seen it on TV, and I've seen it. You know, my son is 17, so you can imagine I've seen a lot of things like that.
Wow, but you're really old then.
Yeah, I'm really old. I'm genuinely knackered. I shouldn't be allowed out. But I'd never seen it in real life, and I just sort of looked up, and there was a guy upside down in the middle of the sky on a BMX.
Yeah.
You know, I just saw it over the roof of all the stalls.
Yeah,
I'm like, my God, how do you get there? And then you climb up and have a look. And you go, oh my God.
Yeah, it
is mind-boggling how you do that.
It's such a great event, and I mean, for us to have this thing in Vegas, you know, it's just going to magnify what we do even more. You know, and with it having such an international field now, you know, it's starting to bring the world-class recognition that it wants. You know, it wants the very best from around the world to come and compete, and in order to do that, you have to give them a stage that's kind of worthy and enticing enough to drag them from the respective countries. So, what better place to?
So there are people from all over the world then taking part.
Yeah. Everybody who's qualified is here this weekend. Right. So you know, you got Italy, you got England, you know, Spain, all. You know, mostly European countries are represented here, and of course the heavy population is always going to be America because it's home turf. But no, we got some foreigners in the mix. So.
Right. I mean, explain to a complete old bloke layman who's I've ridden a bike.
I imagine the bike that you last went on was a 10-speed with cow horns, and you know, you and your mates used to do skids or wheelies across Tesco car park.
And we also put a door up on some bricks and did a jump.
I was there with you. I was there with you, mate.
In fact, I broke my mum's bike doing jumps in our back garden when I was a kid, so you know that was I was hardcore.
Well, you'd have to be to ride your mum's bike. I mean, it's not something you tell your mates, is it? You know, no, it's you know, what we do, BMX riding, is unlike that fat guy walking across the road throwing his hat and his buddy with a Budweiser in his hand and, hey, you know, throw it long, dude. Look at me, I got a ponytail and slick back hair, which is a good look for Vegas. It really is a good look for Vegas. So,
but I can see that actually there's no point even mentioning the sights you see in Vegas, because it's just,
you know,
that's the general population.
They don't call Vegas Sin City for nothing. No. If you want to look a certain way, if you want to act a certain way, you can do it here without any fear of retributions. Yeah. So I don't know why there aren't more English over here. You know, I mean, in fact, I'm saying right now to FIFA, you should host the World Cup here. One ground, just have all the teams go at it, all the fans come in.
Oh God, imagine. Oh.
I can't imagine World Cup here. It would just be too much. But no, anyway, getting back to BMX.
Yes.
What I do, BMX ride. I ride the big ramp, the half pipe, the big ramp in the shape of a U. But this weekend, we're all competing at the Do Championships. Anybody who's ever seen this on TV or has been good enough to come out and you know, be a spectator at one of these events, they're just amazing things to watch. It's kind of like the best show on the strip. Right.
No, it does. I mean, because all I saw last night was the, I guess,
BMX dirt qualifying.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's crazy, and you know, and the level of competition now just to get into a final. I mean, you're looking at qualifying rounds now that, say, 5 years ago, people would have won the competition. That's how much the level had to come up, because everybody wants to make finals. And
you've won it before, though, have you?
I won it 5 years straight.
5 years straight, yeah, because I did see your list of champions.
Yeah. You know, it's got to be annoying to have an Englishman sitting... to have an Englishman winning so dominantly over the years, whose face has never been on the sun. With a turnip on his head or anything like that, or like, you know, wearing a women's sarong, or, you know, I mean, that's got to be annoying for the sporting public in the UK. So, you know, I apologise for that. And in 2011, I will definitely start wearing women's clothes. I'll knock a few people out to boot.
Just so you can get on the sun.
Just so I can get in the sun.
I think it is. I think it's a worthy career.
I think so. You know, I'll see what Paris Hilton's up to. You know, or Lindsay Lohan. I can always tag along with them for a free night in jail. Yeah. You know, the generation that's outgoing right now has lived through the traditional stick and ball sports. Yeah. But the new generation of people that are coming through, they want that little bit more from their sports. Yes. So, you know, they're growing up with BMX and skateboarding and snowboarding and skiing and mountain biking, and they want more from sports. And, you know, action sports delivers that. Yeah. And they're getting more and more popular because they're seeing that, you know, while it is great to aspire to be, you know, the best football player in the world, you know, it's just so tough because, you know, that it's just a short-lived moment, you know, and they're constantly saying who's the best and who's not, whereas, you know, these sports give people a real opportunity to prove they can be the best in their sport. You know, it's you know, a lot of traditional sports have always been team sports. Action sports are very based around the individual. Yes, we don't have coaches. I mean, I don't have a coach. I don't have anybody who thinks.
There's no one who's trained you or told you.
Nobody thinks up the tricks for me, or, you know, tells me, you know, what I should do. It's all down to me, and that's the best thing about it. It's that individuality that, you know, I don't have to rely on somebody screaming at me to be up at like 5 AM and I've got to be in the gym 5 hours, and then I've got to go for a 20-mile run, and I've got to eat 10 pounds of broccoli and one slice of ham, and it's just like, you know, That's what a lot of kids that are into it these days are really, that's what they're all about. And plus, you know, it's all about the reality TV, the Twitter, the Facebook, the social interaction, and that's what people like about action sports too, because it's heavily based on that. And that's where other sports are picking up on that now.
No, I think you're way ahead on that, and also because that's absolutely part of that, the whole ethos, isn't it? I mean, the whole thing is, you know, all the kids that are into it are already into that anyway. So it's
all networking. You know, and
as opposed to the Sun's new Twitter account. Follow the Sun on Twitter.
Follow the Sun. Debbie from Macclesfield on page 3.
She's got a Twitter.
She's got a Twitter account. See Gazarers, you've never seen him before. Oh God.
No, please, can we not?
It's fun. I love it. That's why I never really stuck with any of the sports that I did at school. You know, I used to play for the football team, and I did track and field and stuff like that. But nothing quite gripped me like the bikes. It's just fun, and it's crazy because I grew up in Heanor, in Derbyshire. And at the bottom of the hill lived Ron and Leon Haslam. At the other side of me lived Jamie Dobb and Dale Holmes, which were world BMX racing champion and world motocross champion. And then obviously at Donington they had the famous racetrack, and you know, the likes of Valentino Rossi, Marco Melandri, John Hopkins, they all, you know, kind of made that,
and they lived in that area.
So I kind of grew up in this.
It's in the water, obviously.
Crazy triangle. I don't know, it's in the water, because if you've ever had water from Heanor, you know, it's enough to make your hair curl. There's no wonder so many hair products got sold around Heanor, because the water actually was terrible.
Was it? Right.
I think it crystallised your hair for some bizarre reason, or maybe it was just bad rinse jobs when you used to go to the bingo on a Friday night.
But is there a connection? Because you talked about, I mean, do you ride motorbikes as well? I mean, are you into that?
I do, yeah. I just recently got my road racing licence. So I've been racing motorbikes a fair bit this year, so it's something that I really enjoy. I'm a huge MotoGP enthusiast and World Superbikes, and I love following all the racing.
Because that's, you see, I'm impressed with your bravery, because I'm chicken on a motorbike. I'm not going to pretend, and I can't stand on a skateboard because I you know. So basically, you know,
it's tough. You know, it's definitely if you don't start young.
Yeah, I mean, so could you? I mean, that's why I'm intrigued by. Did you ride motorbikes early, or did I mean?
You know what? I could never ride motorbikes when I was young. I just jumped on a BMX bike instead. I never really got into the motorbikes till later on. But yeah, the BMX bikes. You know, I'd ride them to school. You know, ride them. You know, home. My friend had a ramp in his garden. We always go and ride that, or we'd go ride flatland at night. So. It's just always a way to get out and about, and it was a good mode of transportation. Always kept me fit and on my toes. And you know, it's just anywhere you went on a BMX bike, if there was a group of kids on bikes, you had friends.
Exactly, isn't that? I think that is. I mean, the only way I've experienced that was with my son and skateboards all over the world. He'll get on his skateboard and he's suddenly with like 5 other. I haven't even seen them. I don't know where they come from.
You don't have to. You just have that common bond. You know, you're all there. You're doing it for the same reasons, and you know, even if there's a language barrier involved, it don't matter. Like, people are going to appreciate what you're doing on a bike, so you know, instantly you have a friend. And I mean, it generally seems to be a really friendly, supportive crowd, rather than like in the sort of classic jock movie where the big dude is kind of, you know, the quarterback.
You know, he's being really nasty and bullying the other kid or something. All the kids I've seen with my son, when he's done a trick that they're impressed with,
they're clapping and
they're you know, they're not going
chuff for him.
You're shit. You know, they seem to like it. Which, I mean, you know, being a dad and being sort of, when he was a little lad and he was first doing it. I mean, now he won't let me go anywhere near it, you know, because it's just too uncool to have this sad old bloke coming hanging around.
It's kind of tough to take your dad to places, but
I don't blame him.
But no, you know, that's the beauty of it, and that's why I never have a bad word to say about riding bikes or skateboards, is because, you know, wherever you go, there's always a good crowd. And you know, people you know, accept you and they warm to you, and you know, you become a part of that riding community, because you're all doing the same thing. You're all after the same goal. You all want to progress. You all want to enjoy what you're doing, and if you can enjoy it without beating each other's brains out,
it's kind of, I kind of like that.
I think everybody kind of likes turning out somewhere without getting the teeth knocked out. Other than a Derby fan going to Nottingham Forest on a Saturday afternoon, but
well, that's part of it.
Well, let's not say any more about Derby County at the minute.
That's part of the rich cultural tapestry of our proud land.
The foundation of England.
I don't know whether you must get fairly stressed up and wound up before you do, you know, particularly on a big final like this. Quite a lot at stake for you, isn't there? I mean, I don't want to make it worse for you, but I'm just intrigued at that.
No, you know, there is a lot at stake. You know, our whole season kind of it doesn't hang in the balance on this one,
right? You
know, but unless you're in the race for the cup, you know, to win the cup is a very prestigious title to get. You know, and with sponsor contracts up, you know, the following year and stuff like that, you always want to have the best resume. So you know, there's a bit of stress comes into play, and obviously, you know, people have got new tricks, and everybody's trying to play, you know, their best hand during the competition. So, you know, Sunday afternoon can get a bit heated. Right.
And I'm looking forward to watching.
It'll be a lot of fun. You will definitely see people go off on Sunday. So. Right. in fact, on you know, Saturday, you got BMX Park, you got BMX Dirt, and there's two cups up for grabs. Right. In the respective elements there. So it really is going to be a cracking contest this weekend. Right. So anybody who's tuning in will be really pleased.
Fantastic. And then I just remembered when that young lad turned up at the hotel just now when we were waiting with his skateboards and his spares. You obviously knew him. I mean, it was a very sweet little greeting that there was going on there. I mean, there is sort of a connection between the two sports then, between skateboarding and...
You know, there's no malice between any of the sports. That's the good thing about it. You know, if I turn up at a spot where a bunch of skateboarders are riding, you know, I'll go ride with them. Obviously, you know, I won't infringe on their line, and hopefully they won't infringe on mine. But it's just that camaraderie. You know, nobody wants to, you know, there isn't any time for any animosity. You know, everybody just wants to get on their bikes, get on their boards, ride, have a good time, and that's the end goal for all of us. Is just to build this great community.
Which it looks like you have. I mean, it was, you know, because I can genuinely say I'm seeing it from an outsider's perspective. Because you know, it's all new to me, and it's got a really nice atmosphere. Well,
you know, obviously you've experienced it with your son, so you've already got a little inkling of what's going on there. But now it's kind of like it's taking your kid to soccer practice and then going watching Derby County v Chelsea.
Yes, that's what it.
What a game! Derby County versus Chelsea, and it's 15-0 to Chelsea, and we've only just kicked off.
That's fantastic. That is what I'll tell my son when I get back. Brilliant. Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah,
brilliant. Thanks very much. Thanks for putting up with all the shenanigans.